Hola amigos, this is Beatriz García Torre and I'm so excited to be a part of Humans of Telecom.
Hey everyone, a very warm welcome to Humans of Telecom, the Unplugged podcast. This is your host Anurag Aggarwal, Chief Growth Officer at Globe Teleservices. I'm just back from Vancouver after attending a very well organized GSMA WAS 17 telecom event. It was amazing to hear in person some of the wonderful feedback the industry had to offer for this podcast. It just goes to show that we're achieving our purpose of showcasing the human side of some of the most awesome members from the telecom space. Talking about awesome, today we have with us a lady who is a very close friend, an extremely well known personality within the CPaaS industry, and is also the face and voice of her company. We recently met at Vancouver and she graciously agreed to be a part of this initiative. So please join me in welcoming Beatriz García Torres, Chief Interconnection Officer and Board Member at Yeda.net. Bia, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining in. We'd love to hear a lot more about you. So, to start with, tell us from which part of the world are you joining this podcast today?
Hi Anurag, it's a pleasure here today being here with you and thank you for everything you said. I'm here after a long trip back from Vancouver. I'm here in Lleida. Lleida is a city for all the people who don't know because the people think Lleida is just a company, but it's also my city. So I'm here today at home in my city.
And where exactly is Yeda based? Which part of the world? And tell us a bit more about the history of your company and about this place.
Lleida is in Spain, of course, and it's near Barcelona, 1 hour by train, not too far. So it's a good city because it's near the mountain and near the beach.
And yeah, about your company.
Well, the CEO is from Lleida, so the company started in Lleida. The headquarters are here, and Lleida is a SMS operator in 7 countries. And yeah, we are very specialized on SMS because we just do SMS, no data, and no voice. For me, it's very satisfying to see how Jadanet has growing up. It's like my daughter that you are growing up with her, and yeah, we are. When I started, we were an operator, SMS operator, just in Spain, and now we are operator in 7 countries: in Spain, France, UK, US, Colombia, Chile, and Dominican Republic. So you can imagine that we are so happy now to be the size that we are now.
Wonderful, and it was amazing to hear your comparison of calling it like just like a daughter, And I think you've grown along with the company, so that's amazing. So let's hear a little bit more about Beatriz. Which part of the world were you born in? What's your story like, personally, professionally? How's your journey been?
Yeah, I was born in Lleida, as I mentioned, and I grew up here in Lleida until 70 years old. Then I moved to Barcelona to study my careers in telecommunication engineer. And for me, it was a very good change because Lleida is a small city and Barcelona is an amazing city, as you can know. And uh, there were many things to do when you are a student. You can do many things there. Even that I was studying so hard at that moment that I didn't have too much time, but the experience was so nice for me. So then, when I was finalizing my studies, I started to work in Orange, Spain. For me, it was a very good experience as well because I started as a technical in the technical team as I was doing fixing issues in DSL, and I was in a call center. So I had many funny stories there in the phone. I remember many times they were saying, "I want to talk with a technical guy, please." And I was saying, "Yeah, I'm the technical guy. A technical guy can be a woman as well." And yeah, it was funny. And the bad thing is they were always in a bad mood because they were complaining about the DSL problems. But I was enjoying, yes, of course. And then I finalized my career, and I decided to do my final thesis I applied to be in MIT in Massachusetts in Boston. So I had everything done, all the papers, the approval. So I was preparing my trip, but sometimes things are not as you planned. And my father got a cancer. So for me I was totally shocked, and I didn't know what to do on that time. So yeah, I decided to start my career there, and I say, okay, I have to. I For me, the family is my first thing, and I want to be with my father. But my father was very angry. He didn't want me to stop the career, and I was like, well, now I have a problem here. So what I did is I changed my destination to the Netherlands for two reasons. One is because the Netherlands is in a couple of hours you can come home. It's quite close. And the second reason is because my father, when he was a child, he studied in the Netherlands as well. So for me, the story was nice to study in the same place as my father. So yeah, I decided to work in the TU Delft University, which is a very good one for image processing. And my thesis was about surveillance cameras. And yeah, I stayed there for 1 year. I decided to come back home to stay here in Spain near my father. So I moved again to Barcelona. I stay with my father, well, with near my father, and I started to work in Deloitte doing IT auditories. And yeah, then my father was getting worse and worse, so I wanted to be in Lleida, not in Barcelona, even if it's quite close. But I wanted to stay at home. But I didn't know how to come home because I didn't want to stop my career as well. So I remember one night, Saturday night, in a disco. I was dancing, and a friend of mine introduced me her boyfriend, and he told me, "Yeah, I'm telecom engineer, and I'm working here in Lleida in a telecom company." And I was, "What? A telecom company in Lleida?" And he told me, "Yes, yes, it's the only one, but it's a nice company." So, and he told me, "Yeah, we are looking now for an engineer." And I was, wow, sometimes the stars line up. And yeah, I gave him my curriculum. And next day, Cisco, the CEO, called me and he told me I could start the next day. So it was a very good opportunity to come home. And my idea was being here like a period short of time. But after 15 years, I can say that I'm still here in Lleida. And that's my story, more or less.
That's wonderful. So I guess you decided to prioritize family over some of your career ambitions, and that's really amazing to see, Bia, the journey that you've gone through. So you got into Yeda by chance through a chance encounter on a discotheque floor. That's amazing. And what's kept you in Yeda for so long now? I mean, you've been there for so long. So what's really keeping you going there?
I think the reason is because I love challenge. And in JDaNet, I have always been promoting, taking new projects and new responsibilities. And that's why I still stay at JDaNet. In fact, as I mentioned before, it's like a daughter, and I have grown together with her. So always having a challenge, it's a thing that it maintains me here. In fact, like 3, 4 years ago, I was a little bit stuck in my comfort zone. That for me is not good, staying too much time there. And I was like, not looking for a new job, of course, but open to see new possibilities. So just on that moment, Cisco, our CEO, proposed me to be in the board of the company. So for me, it was again a new challenge, and yeah, finally I accepted, and now I'm learning new things, and yeah, I'm always very active.
And tell us that in your entire career, there must have been many memorable and impactful moments. So, is there one specific moment which has had a tremendous impact on you that you can share with us?
Yeah, there are many memorable, impactful moments in my career. But if I have to choose one, I remember a tough moment at JDaNet because they did a restructuration of the workforce, and they decided to fire all my team. Just me and another person were there, and for me it was really hard because many people left. So I had to start everything from scratch in the SMS business line, hire new people, implement the new routing platform, implement the automatic notification for pricing, linking to the billing system. So it was very hard. I don't remember moments that I would have worked so many hours. And A2P started to grow. It was like 2013, and yeah, it was really hard, but at the same time it was very satisfying there, looking how all the things that we implemented, they were very useful, and we started to increase our revenues. So all the effort that we did, we saw that was for a good reason. So it was very, very satisfying.
Well, I guess when one faces the challenge of reorganizing the entire team and starting from scratch, that can really be quite a Herculean task. But I'm sure, Bia, you must have managed well and sailed through it with flying colors, huh?
At least I try, yes. Always with a big smile and a lot of hours working, you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. And those who've seen Beatrice's smile, I think her smile helps in solving at least most problems, if not all.
Yes.
So, Bia, we move to the next section where we talk more about the human side of telecom. So, tell us a bit more about Beatrice, something that nobody else knows about you.
Well, I think everyone knows me, but I think there is one thing that I've never explained, but is I have a very close relationship with my sister. She's 3.5 years older than me, and when we were young, we wanted to speak together, but we didn't want that my parents understood us. Um, we decided to create a new language. So yeah, we started creating this new language, and we were growing up, and the language was evolving with
Uh
us.
huh.
So now we are still speaking with this new language, and nobody understands us. So for us, it's a very good, nice thing when we want to talk each other with something that we want to be here. So it's very nice because it's a mix of new vocabulary, quick speaking, and different pronunciation. And yeah, when my friends sometimes listen to me speaking with her, they start laughing because it's a funny way to speak with her. And yeah, if you want, I can say a sentence in this new language
Absolutely.
because it's a funny way. And the sentence is, "Uy, Viki kan ipakai digital minti Viki." So
Oh, God. So what you said just now, what exactly did that mean?
this sentence she was saying always to me when we were playing,
Uh-huh.
and she wanted to coach me, like when we were playing running, and yes, it was like, I'm going to coach you and be careful. Something like that.
That's interesting, Bia. I mean, I've never heard of anybody be able to develop a separate language of their own and maintain it for so long. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And beyond work, what else do you do that helps you recharge and, stay passionate towards your work and life in general?
For me, the best way to recharge is sports and music. But I don't have time now with my children to do sports. And I want to be a super mom, a very good professional, very good mom, very good everything. And the reality is impossible to be super mom. So that's why I don't have time and I cannot do sports. But now at least I listen music. So I listen very loud music inside my car in the way to the school. Sometimes I seem a crazy woman singing very loud inside the car, but it's the way for me to recharge and to stop time and just singing and enjoy that moment.
Awesome. That's interesting. Would love to be in that car with you sometime and hear the music that you're listening to on full volume. And tell us a bit more about your family. Like you said, you got two daughters. So, like, what are they doing? How old are they? What's your husband doing?
I have a daughter. She's 4 years old, and a son. It's 1 year. A lot of work with both, but especially when I have to attend a congress, my husband is like, "Wow, again another congress," and I think one day he will change the lock because he's starting to be fed up of me. But yeah, I think he's a good guy and he's taking care of the children very good. So yeah, I cannot complain with my husband and the children and are so hard sometimes because of if you want to do everything is hard. It's too much work. But at the end of the day, when you see them, is there are no more problems in your life.
That's amazing. I mean, I know all the conferences you are attending, and you really need that support back at home to be able to manage. So, hats off to your husband for taking care in your absence. But just keep a lookout for the locks, huh? The next thing the locks are changed and we are stuck outside.
Yes, I will call you if I don't if I don't have.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just a couple of thousand of kilometers away, but yeah, I'm happy to help if I can. Awesome. So, Bia, we are going to start with the next section where I'm going to put up a couple of words towards you. I want you to be original, be genuine, be human. Say the first thing that comes to your mind, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about it. So, are we ready?
Okay.
Awesome. So, the first word is telecom.
Future. It's my future.
Yeah, it's also nearly your complete past and present.
Yes, past, present, and future.
Okay, women,
Empowering.
empowering. And what do you mean by that out here?
I'm participating in many projects that empowers women. And for example, I go to the schools to explain my experience as a woman telecommunication engineer and to break stereotypes that an engineer could be a woman as well. So I'm always in this kind of project because I like to empower women in the STEAM careers.
That's interesting. So I can imagine that you'd be an awesome role model for all the women around wherever you're getting to go, right?
I hope at least.
Okay, the next one is since you're always up in air, so airplanes.
Meditation.
Okay, that's interesting. So, I mean, how do you best utilize your time when you're on a plane?
For me, when I have to take a plane, because a lot of people say, "What, 10 hours now?" For me, sometimes it's wow, 10 hours, because it's the time where I don't have connection. Sometimes there is Wi-Fi, but I switch off everything. Just put my Bose with noise cancelling and listen some music, and it's like time stops for me and I start to meditate during the whole trip and just to put value in things that I have, that during the day we are all the time very doing things very accelerated, and you don't have time to think what you have and the values you have. So it's a nice time for me to think about everything I have and to be so happy with my family, with all the things I have.
Cool. So I can see that you clearly make the best of the air travel as well. And unstoppable.
Smiling. I mentioned before that for me, you have always to smile. Life is too short to be sad, right?
I agree. So you've spoken about empowerment, meditation, and how one can keep smiling through all the tough times. That's amazing. And the final word is podcast.
Podcasts, I would say company. Because sometimes when I have to iron or do some home task, I put any podcast about childhood education or whatever. And yeah, just listen, and at least you are with some company.
That's awesome. In fact, I hear about many of our listeners also listening to this during their jog and walk or a run, and it's good. It's. I agree. Podcasts really are good company when you're trying to do something in parallel. Awesome, Bia. So now we're gonna ask you something very interesting. Uh, I want you to tell me two truths and a lie. I really hope there are some very wild and unimaginable ones. And it's my job to try and guess which one is the lie. So are you ready with that?
Okay, let's do.
Okay.
I'm the last to leave the parties. The second would be I was the first in artistic gymnastic in Catalan championships. And the last one, I can play the bassoon.
Uh, I think it's the last one because I think in most parties I've seen that you are amongst the last ones to leave. You really enjoy your parties well. You were doing that even in Vancouver, and I think the second one also of being a gymnast. I think you do come across as a very athletic person. So I think it's the instrument. Am I right?
Na 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 na. No,
Okay.
the lie is I'm the last to leave the parties.
Oh, come on.
Yes, in fact, I like the parties, but not too much. I'm not the last one. I'm always, especially now that when I'm in the Congress, I want to sleep because it's for me sleeping the whole night without children is my dream. So I try to leave. I stay some time, of course, but I'm not leaving the last one. And yeah, and I play the bassoon. I study 11 years in the music school in Lleida. So I play the piano, and then after some years, we had to choose a second instrument. So I choose the bassoon. This is true.
Cool. So you're a gymnast and you play two instruments. That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So one last question of this section, Bia. I'm guessing you're fond of movies. So tell us one of your favorite movies, and if you had to play one character in that, which one would it be and why?
One of the movies I like is an old one from 2001, more or less, and it's Amélie Poulain. It's a French movie.
Okay.
I don't know if you watch it.
So do you know French as well?
Yes. In fact, my mother is a French teacher.
Oh, that's awesome. So you know French, Spanish, and English. At least three languages that I know, plus the one which you have with your sister. So at least four languages I know that you know.
Yeah. Yes. Not useful my sister language, but yes, for.
Awesome. And a bit more about the movie. Yeah. So tell us, why do you like it and why would you want to play that character?
It's a simple movie. It's not, but it's I like because she enjoy the little things of life, and she's always fighting to keep her dreams, and she gets what she wants. So yeah, it's as I said that I like to think about the life and enjoy little things, and think I think this is a very nice movie to to think about little things of life.
That's a wonderful thought. So, Bia, much as we are having fun, but all good things come to an end as well. So, we are on the last section, which is the signing off one. So, we are going to ask you two final questions. The first is that uh, when is your next meditation session? And by that, I mean, on which airplane are you hopping on to for which event? So, if somebody wants to meet Bia, which are a couple of events coming up where you are taking part?
Uh, Next month, I'm going to Dublin for the MEF, where I will be panelist as well. Then I will fly to Washington for ITW, not London, because Jadanet will, but not me. Then to WC Madrid, that for me is quite close. And of course, Croatia with WAS.
Cool. So you have a busy calendar, and if anybody wants to catch this awesome lady, you know where she's gonna be. So we have one final question, which is our signature question. What does being human mean to you? What sort of a human being would you want the world to remember you as?
Being human, for me, human is when someone do favors with nothing in return. For instance, when the twin towers fell down, and there were many people helping people with nothing in return, on where when there is a hurricane or a earthquake, that the human side then comes out. I love it because you realize that there are still good people in the world. Because when you are every day seeing the news, sometimes you think that there are no good people. But when there are things like that, that you see people helping others, I think is when you realize that there are still good people. Regarding the how I want to be remembered, I think I want to be remembered as someone that when you stay with, give you fresh air and positive environment. Someone that you would like to stay with for a coffee, wherever, and yes, someone. Well, it's fresh air.
Wonderful, Bia. And this part definitely I can vouch for. If anybody asks me to tell about Bia, I can definitely say that her smile and her energy always brings in that environment and that fresh air, and one loves to have you around. So, on that note, thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of this show. And I really hope that in all your upcoming events, we cross paths soon and catch up again. And I really hope that the listeners enjoyed to what they heard.
Thank you, Anurag. For me, has been a pleasure being here. And just one question now.
Okay.
Who is going to interview Anurag in Humans of Telecom?
Well, we'll wait and watch. You know, when it's the right time, I will unveil my human side as well. So you never know. It could be one, it could be many, it could be many people together coming up on an
I,
episode.
I'm a volunteer.
All right, noted. You're one of the panelists who shall be allowed to interview Anurag as a human of telecom someday for sure.
Okay, thank you, Anurag. Take care.
Thank you so much, Bria. And to all our wonderful listeners here, thanks a lot for tuning into the show. I really hope that today you got a good glimpse of Beatriz. Rather, you got the human side of Beatriz. As a friend, I've known Bia for a long time, but today's conversation reveals so much more about her family, about her company, and about her ambitions in life. Stay tuned in. We shall soon be coming out with yet another episode and another compelling story from the telecom space. Do follow the podcast on your preferred streaming channel. On behalf of Humans of Telecom, this is your host Anurag Aggarwal signing off for now. Take care.